Ethan Blake was a man the world admired, CEO of a billion-dollar tech empire, father of 6-year-old twins Lily and Leo, and a man who had everything, except love. Ever since his wife passed away 3 years ago, Ethan had buried himself in work and his kids. But loneliness had a strange way of creeping in, even behind private jets and penthouse views. His assistant, tired of watching him decline every romantic opportunity, finally set him up on a blind date. Ethan agreed, but with a twist. He wanted to know if someone could love him, not his fortune. So, he dressed down in old jeans, borrowed a modest car, and took his kids along, pretending to be a struggling single father who fixed computers for a living. The date was set at a small, cozy cafe, nothing luxurious, just warm coffee and a fireplace. That's where he first saw her, Grace. She wore no designer labels, but something about her smile felt like home. "Hi, I'm Grace," she said, shaking his hand, then looked down and beamed at the twins. "And who are these little charmers?" "This is Lily and Leo," Ethan replied. I couldn't get a babysitter." Instead of being irritated, Grace sat on the floor with them, playing a simple paper folding game she had learned as a teacher. The kids were instantly hooked. Ethan sat back and watched the magic happen, her laugh, her patience, her ease. She wasn't interested in impressing anyone. She just was. Over coffee and sandwiches, they talked. Ethan told her half-truths. He did work with computers, just not as a low-level tech. Grace talked about being a schoolteacher, living in a tiny apartment, and how she never gave up on love, even when it seemed hopeless. Midway through the meal, Leo accidentally spilled water all over Grace's dress. Ethan jumped up, apologizing, but Grace just laughed, wiping it with a napkin. "It's water," she said. "Not lava." Then came the moment that changed everything. When the check arrived, Ethan reached for it, but Grace stopped him. "Let me," she said softly. "You've got 2 kids, and I know how hard that can be. Besides, I had a really good time. Let me treat you." Ethan froze. No one had ever said that to him. Not in years. Not without wanting something in return. She didn't do it to impress. She didn't even know he was rich. She simply cared. Tears pricked at the edges of his eyes as he nodded. "Thank you, Grace. That means more than you know." They walked outside, the kids holding Grace's hands like they had known her forever. As the wind brushed through their hair, Ethan turned to her. "Grace, I have to tell you something. I wasn't honest about everything today." She blinked, bracing herself. "I'm not broke. I'm the CEO of a major company. And this wasn't just a test, it was a hope. A hope that someone would see me, not my money. And you did." Grace stared at him, stunned. Then she smiled. "Well, Ethan Blake, I'm glad you finally told the truth. But for what it's worth, I liked you better in that hoodie and jeans." They laughed. The kids cheered. And under the golden sunset, something real began. Not because of money, but because one woman saw a man with 2 kids, no pretense, and simply chose to be kind.